Why is now the right time for more Matrix?
It wasn't planned. It was not orchestrated in any way.
Before CGI rewrote the rules, two directors from Chicago decided to do something insane. They would build the impossible for real. The Matrix didn't just change how movies looked, it changed what filmmakers believed they could actually do.
I don't know, you could set up at your lab a whole kind of, what would go into the best sound.
And almost none of it was digital. Bullet time. By 1999, CGI was becoming Hollywood's favorite shortcut. Studios were digitally erasing problems, manufacturing spectacles, and smoothing over anything too difficult or dangerous to film for real. The Wachowskis looked at all of that and went in the opposite direction. The bullet time sequence didn't come from a computer.
Bullet time is something that was conceived for The Matrix specifically.
It came from a camera rig. A massive, precisely engineered ring of 120 still cameras, each positioned at a calculated angle around Keanu Reeves, each loaded with film, each wired to fire in a sequence so fast it could capture a single frozen moment from every angle simultaneously. The concept sounds simple. The execution nearly broke the crew. Every camera had to be calibrated individually. The spacing between each lens had to account for depth, focal length, and the exact arc of the subject's body. If even one camera was slightly out of position, the interpolation, the digital stitching that connected each still image into a flowing motion, would collapse. The frozen moment would shudder. The illusion would die. The team spent weeks on alignment alone. Test shoots were run, scrapped, and rebuilt from scratch. The rig was so large it had to be assembled around the set rather than brought in afterward. And when it finally worked, when that first test footage played back and time genuinely appeared to stop midair, the crew reportedly went silent. What audiences assumed was pure computer generation was actually photography. Real light, real film, real physics. The only digital element was the bullet trail itself, a thin streak added in post-production. Everything else, the frozen body, the suspended coat, the impossible angle, was captured by cameras that were physically there. Bullet time didn't fake reality. It just found a way to hold it still. The lobby shootout. Most action directors block a fight scene in days. The Wachowskis gave Yuen Woo-ping 4 months. The legendary Hong Kong choreographer, responsible for some of the most breathtaking martial arts sequences ever committed to film, was handed something unusual for a Hollywood production: complete creative control. No compromises, no studio interference, just time, space, and 2 actors willing to destroy their bodies to get it right. Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss trained every single day for those 4 months. Not stunt doubles, not stand-ins. Them. Reeves reportedly pushed through a neck injury sustained during rehearsals, refusing to stop because the choreography demanded a physical fluency that couldn't be faked. By the time cameras rolled, both actors had internalized the sequences so completely that what looked like improvised chaos was actually executed with surgical precision. The lobby itself was a fully constructed set built specifically to be destroyed. Those marble pillars weren't borrowed from a real building. They were engineered to shatter convincingly on impact. The plaster explosions, the cascading debris, the way the environment crumbled around the fight, all of it was practically rigged, timed to the choreography, and triggered in real time during the takes. Wire rigs were used extensively, but hidden so effectively that audiences spent years debating what was digital enhancement and what was physical performance. The answer, more often than not, was physical performance. The Wachowskis shot the sequence with multiple cameras to capture different angles simultaneously, knowing that certain moments could only happen once. When a pillar came down, it came down. When a wire launched Reeves across the frame, there was no second take that looked the same. The lobby shootout wasn't choreographed like a fight. It was engineered like a controlled demolition, the rooftop helicopter crash. There is a moment in The Matrix where a helicopter spins out of control and smashes directly into a glass skyscraper. The impact is catastrophic, immediate, and completely convincing. Audiences in 1999 assumed it was CGI. It wasn't. The production used a real helicopter suspended on a precision crane rig, designed to swing the aircraft into a specially constructed building facade at a controlled speed. The building itself was built for destruction. The glass panels were engineered to explode outward on impact rather than simply crack, creating that shower of debris that fills the frame in the final cut. What made the shot genuinely dangerous wasn't the helicopter. It was the rotor blade. A spinning rotor generates unpredictable airflow and, if the rig failed at the wrong moment, catastrophic physical force. The crew spent considerable time solving a single problem. How do you position cameras close enough to capture the full scale of the impact without putting anyone in the path of a blade that could kill them? The solution was a combination of camera placement mathematics and remotely operated rigs. No operator was within the danger radius during the actual crash. Every angle was pre-calculated and locked before the helicopter was set in motion. Hugo Weaving, playing Agent Smith in the scene, was not given the precise timing of the impact during filming. The decision was deliberate. His instinctive physical reaction to the sudden explosion of glass and sound, the slight flinch, the almost imperceptible adjustment of posture, reads as inhuman composure on screen precisely because it was a genuine human reaction happening in real time. The camera caught something that couldn't be scripted. It could only be provoked. One take, one crash, no second helicopter, the subway fight. By the time Neo and Agent Smith face each other in that subway station, the audience already understands the rules of the Matrix universe. Humans bend, agents don't. The subway station was built entirely on a studio soundstage. Nothing about it was borrowed from a real location. Every tile, every pillar, every inch of track was constructed with one purpose: to be systematically destroyed during a single extended fight sequence. The camera was positioned close enough that the debris fills the entire frame, making the impact feel personal rather than cinematic. What audiences consistently misread as CGI enhancement was largely wire work. Reeves and Weaving both performed the majority of their own aerial sequences, suspended on rigs that had been refined over months of rehearsal. Two actors, suspended above a concrete set, throwing each other through the air on take after take until the Wachowskis had exactly what they needed. Hugo Weaving later recalled that the physical demands of the sequence were unlike anything he had experienced before or since. The harness left bruising. The rehearsals were relentless. The legacy, what the Matrix built. No film exists in isolation. Every technical breakthrough ripples forward, changing what directors believe is possible, raising the bar for what audiences will accept, and quietly rewriting the grammar of action cinema. The Matrix did all three simultaneously. Every imitation since has chased that feeling without fully understanding where it came from. Not from software, but from 120 cameras and weeks of obsessive calibration. The practical philosophy that defined the original Matrix directly shaped what came next. The freeway chase sequence in Reloaded, widely considered one of the most ambitious practical action sequences ever filmed, was only conceivable because the first film had already proven that the Wachowskis would build the real thing. A 2-mile stretch of freeway was constructed from scratch in California. Hundreds of vehicles were destroyed over weeks of filming. The scale was staggering, and it was earned, because audiences already trusted that what they were seeing was physically real. That trust is the thing CGI has always struggled to manufacture. It can create spectacle, it can generate scale. But the moment an audience senses that nothing in the frame has any physical weight, the spell breaks. The Matrix understood this before most studios were willing to admit it. The Wachowskis didn't just make a great action film in 1999, they made an argument. That imagination and practicality aren't opposing forces. That the most convincing version of the impossible is the one that was actually built, actually rigged, and actually filmed with someone's body on the line. That argument still stands. The Matrix didn't just change what action movies looked like, it changed what filmmakers believed they were allowed to attempt. Real cameras, real wire work, real destruction, and two directors who refused to fake what they could build. If this breakdown changed how you see the film, hit subscribe, because there are plenty more classics with secrets worth uncovering.